The morning started like any other on the set of Today with Jenna Friends, with bright studio lights and a cheerful audience ready for a fun segment. Country music superstar Blake Shelton, known for his charm and quick wit, was the guest of the day, there to promote his new album, for recreational use only. Fans filled the seats, buzzing with excitement to see the Oklahoma native in person. Jenna Bush Hager, the show's lively host, welcomed Blake with her signature warmth, setting the stage for what seemed like a typical celebrity interview. The conversation kicked off smoothly, with Blake sharing stories about his music, his life on the ranch, and his time on The Voice. His easygoing nature had the audience laughing, and Jenna seemed delighted to have him on. But behind the scenes, whispers suggested Jenna had done her homework, diving deep into Blake's recent social media activity and past controversies. What started as a lighthearted chat about country music was about to take a dramatic turn. No one in the studio could have predicted the storm brewing beneath the surface. As Blake leaned back in his chair, cracking jokes, Jenna's questions began to shift, veering from music to more personal territory. She brought up a recent text post where Blake had commented on the state of modern country music, hinting at his preference for traditional sounds. The audience sensed a change in tone, and Blake's smile tightened ever so slightly. Jenna pressed further, asking about accusations that he was resistant to the genre's evolution, particularly around diversity and new artists. The question landed like a spark in dry grass, and the mood in the studio shifted. Blake, usually unflappable, seemed caught off guard but tried to steer the conversation back to his album. Jenna, however, wasn't letting up, her tone growing sharper as she pushed for answers. The once friendly exchange was now teetering on the edge of confrontation, and the audience could feel the tension building. Blake's responses grew shorter, his Oklahoma drawl more pronounced, as he defended his stance, emphasizing his support for new talent on The Voice. But Jenna doubled down, suggesting his influence might be holding back progress in the industry. The air grew thick, and the crowd fell silent, sensing something big was about to happen. What was meant to be a promotional stop was turning into a battle of wills, with neither side backing down. As the interview continued, the atmosphere in the studio became electric with unease. Jenna Bush Hager, usually known for her bubbly demeanor, adopted a more pointed tone, challenging Blake on his role in shaping country music's future. She referenced articles that labeled him a gatekeeper, implying he favored a narrow, traditionalist view of the genre. Blake's face hardened, his trademark grin replaced by a steely gaze. He leaned forward, addressing Jenna directly, and said, "This feels like a setup, Jenna. I came here to talk about my music, not to be put on trial." The audience gasped, some clapping in support, while others sat stunned by the sudden shift. Jenna, undeterred, fired back, "People with your platform have a responsibility to answer tough questions." Her words were like fuel on a fire, and Blake's frustration was palpable. He countered, accusing the show of twisting his words for headlines, his voice steady but laced with anger. The exchange was no longer a friendly chat but a verbal sparring match, with both sides digging in. Blake tried to pivot, sharing how he's mentored diverse artists, but Jenna kept pushing, bringing up a specific ex-post where he'd jokingly dismissed woke country. The crowd murmured, some nodding in agreement with Jenna, others clearly siding with Blake. The tension was now undeniable, and the producers in the control room exchanged nervous glances. Blake's body language shifted. He sat up straighter, his hands gripping the chair. He called out the media's tendency to sensationalize, saying, "You all love to stir the pot, don't you? This ain't about truth, it's about ratings." Jenna, sensing the moment, pressed harder, asking if he was avoiding accountability. The question hit a nerve, and Blake's eyes narrowed. He shot back, "Accountability? I've been in this game for 20 years, and I don't need a morning show to tell me how to do my job." The audience erupted in a mix of cheers and whispers, torn between the two. The clash was no longer just about music, it was personal. Jenna's next move would either defuse the situation or push it past the point of no return, and everyone in the room knew it. The breaking point came faster than anyone expected. Jenna Bush Hager, perhaps sensing she had Blake on the ropes, leaned in with a final jab. "If you can't handle tough questions, maybe the spotlight's not for you." The studio fell silent, the weight of her words hanging in the air. Blake's face flushed, and for a moment, it seemed he might laugh it off, but instead, his voice dropped to a low, controlled growl. "Jenna, you wouldn't know real journalism if it hit you square inches the face," he said, his country twang cutting through the silence. The audience gasped, and a few nervous laughs broke out as the cameras kept rolling. Jenna, visibly shaken but trying to maintain composure, urged him to stay and talk it out. Blake wasn't having it. He stood up, unclipped his microphone, and tossed it onto the chair with a deliberate thud. "I'm done here," he declared, his voice steady but dripping with disdain. "Your viewers deserve better than this circus." The crowd erupted as some cheered wildly. Others sat in stunned silence, unsure how to react. Blake turned to the audience, gave a quick nod, and walked off the set, his boots echoing in the studio. Jenna sat frozen, her smile faltering as the producers scrambled to cut to commercial. Social media exploded within minutes, with clips of the walk-off going viral on X. Fans praised Blake for standing his ground, calling him a hero for calling out what they saw as a media ambush. Others criticized him, saying he overreacted to fair questions. The internet split into camps, with hashtags like #BlakeWalks and #JennaVersusBlake trending worldwide. Backstage, the mood was chaotic. Producers debated how to spin the incident, while Jenna reportedly retreated to her dressing room. Blake, meanwhile, was seen leaving the studio, ignoring reporters waiting outside. The moment was already being dissected on every major platform, with analysts debating whether Blake's exit was justified or a publicity stunt. One thing was clear. This wasn't just a TV moment, it was a cultural flashpoint. The aftermath of Blake Shelton's walk-off was nothing short of a media frenzy. X lit up with reactions, from fans posting slow-down clips of Blake's mic drop to critics accusing him of dodging accountability. Some called it the most shocking moment in morning TV history, comparing it to legendary talk show blow-ups. News outlets ran with the story, with headlines ranging from Blake Shelton's explosive exit to Jenna Bush Hager's ambush backfires. Commentators weighed in, with some praising Blake for refusing to play along with what they called a gotcha interview. Others argued Jenna was doing her job, holding a powerful figure to account. On X, a poll asking "whose side are you on?" garnered millions of votes, with Blake edging out Jenna by a slim margin. Fans shared memes of Blake's exit, captioned with phrases like "when you're done with the nonsense." Meanwhile, Jenna's supporters pointed out that tough questions are part of journalism, and Blake's reaction showed he couldn't handle scrutiny. The Today Show issued a brief statement, saying they valued open dialogue and wished Blake well, but behind closed doors, reports suggested tension among the production team. Some insiders claimed Jenna had been encouraged to push Blake for spicy content to boost ratings, while others said she went off script, catching everyone off guard. Blake, for his part, stayed silent on X for the first 24 hours, letting the storm rage. When he finally posted, it was a cryptic photo of him on his Oklahoma ranch with the caption, "Back where I belong." The post racked up millions of likes, with fans rallying behind him. The incident sparked broader conversations about celebrity interviews, with some arguing morning shows have become too confrontational, chasing viral moments over substance. Others said stars like Blake should expect tough questions and handle them with grace. The debate wasn't just about Blake and Jenna, it was about the state of media itself. As the dust settled, the fallout from Blake's walk-off continued to ripple through the entertainment world. Jenna Bush Hager addressed the incident on the next episode of Today With Jenna Friends, striking a conciliatory tone. "We love having passionate discussions, and sometimes they get heated," she said, avoiding a direct apology but acknowledging the intense moment. She pivoted quickly to lighter topics, but viewers noticed a quieter energy about her. Some speculated she was shaken by the backlash, with X posts accusing her of trying to trap Blake. Others defended her, saying she was unfairly vilified for asking legitimate questions. Blake, meanwhile, leaned into his everyman persona, granting an interview to a country music podcast where he doubled down on his stance. "I'm not here to play games with folks who wanna twist my words," he said, adding that he'd rather talk to fans directly than deal with TV traps. The podcast clip went viral, further fueling his supporters. Industry insiders began to weigh in, with some suggesting the clash could hurt Jenna's reputation as a host, while others predicted it would boost Blake's street cred among fans who value authenticity. The incident also sparked a ratings spike for Today with Jenna Friends, proving that controversy sells. However, it raised questions about the show's direction. Would it lean harder into provocative interviews, or pull back to safer, fluffier content? Blake's team, meanwhile, capitalized on the moment, releasing behind-the-scenes footage from his music video for Stay Country or Die Tryin', which seemed to nod to the drama with its defiant lyrics. The video broke streaming records, suggesting the walk-off hadn't hurt Blake's brand. On X, fans continued to dissect every moment of the clash, from Blake's body language to Jenna's facial expressions. The incident became a case study in media classes, with professors using it to discuss the ethics of gotcha journalism. For Blake, it was a reminder of his roots. He wasn't just a celebrity, he was a fighter who wouldn't back down. Months later, the Blake Shelton walk-off remains a defining moment in pop culture. It's still referenced on X, with users posting throwback clips whenever a new celebrity interview goes off the rails. The incident has reshaped how morning shows approach big-name guests, with some hosts reportedly treading more carefully to avoid a repeat. Blake has stayed true to his word, focusing on music and avoiding mainstream talk shows for now. His album for recreational use only continues to dominate charts, and his fanbase has only grown, drawn to his no-nonsense attitude. Jenna Bush Hager, meanwhile, has bounced back, regaining her footing with a string of well-received interviews, though some viewers still bring up the Blake clash in comments. The broader impact is a renewed debate about the role of morning TV in an era of polarized media. Some argue shows like Today with Jenna Friends need to stick to feel-good content, while others say tough questions are essential, even if they lead to fireworks. Blake's walk-off also highlighted the power of social media, where fans and critics alike can shape the narrative in real time. On X, the hashtags #BlakeWalks and #JennaVs.Blake still pop up occasionally, a testament to the moment's lasting impact. For Blake, the clash was a chance to draw a line in the sand, proving he's not just a country star but a cultural force who won't be boxed in. For Jenna, it was a lesson in the risks of pushing too hard. And for viewers, it was a raw, unscripted moment that peeled back the curtain on the tension between celebrities and the media. Whether you see Blake as a hero or a hothead, one thing is certain: his walk-off changed the game, and the conversation it sparked is far from over.